Hello, Urban Rivals fans, and welcome to part two of Urban Rivals Talk, where we'll be discussing the new Berserk cards and basically the whole release actually as a whole, instead of actually just doing the previous, well, most recent four cards. So we're going to take a trip back for like about 3 weeks ago, and we're going to be reviewing firstly Esther, and Esther for the 2 stars for the Berserk is a 7/1 with the ability of Poison 1 minimum 2. So firstly, Smokey for the win. What do you think about Esther? Got any initial thoughts on it?
She was kind of disappointing to me. I think maybe if the poison was two minimum one, like I think Muse is, I think she might have been a little bit better, but then you don't know if she might have been overused or overpowered, but just the stats aren't very good for the 2 star. I mean, she is a 7/3 if you think about it with the bonus, but just not a very good card overall.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that because I think the issue with like one poison is it's just too slow. I don't know. Do you agree with that, Sliffy, or are you
I
kind of?
actually kind of disagree with you guys personally.
Oh, really?
Um, yeah, sorry. I
For
think
the first
she's
time.
I think she's pretty solid for the fact that she's a 2 star. If she was three or higher, completely really bad. Even if she was like a 7/3 and she was 3 stars or higher, I still think she'd be bad. But she's 2 stars, so that means you have a lot of room for her. 7 solid power isn't bad. Her poison is really bad. I do completely admit with you all. You have to play her early game because of it. That said, though, her poison, no one wants to get poisoned for one thing. So people will invest pills in beating her. So that's, pill gain, pill loss, average urban rival stuff. Another thing you have to keep in mind is this poison may actually help you in the long run because, 3 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, math wise, it helps you to hit KOs. Depending on what card you need personally. This clan is a very damage-based clan, even if it's not pure damage, if it's minus op life. So you have to do a lot of math yourself to determine when's the best time to play other cards after you win Esper. But she really helps with the whole setup phase, I feel personally.
Yeah. Do you think though it's? I mean, you said about the kind of people going to invest pills against her. Do you think it's more kind of like a buff card then, or is it kind of more of a actual card you're going to poison with?
You can, as I said, you can play her either way. Her power is solid enough that you can actually pseudo bluff, pseudo attack with her. Like, obviously, you wouldn't like 6 pill her and hope you get the poison because that's just crazy. But I don't think most people will invest a lot of pills. But like, if they 2 pill and you 3 pill, well, you're in the lead still, and she can play a lot of mind games that people I don't think would suspect personally.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a good thing, really. I don't know really, because the issue is when I played her, I think I was probably playing her wrong, like I usually do. I kind of felt that I mean, it was kind of hard to get the poison on. I think with like just the 7 power by itself, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me, really. Anyway, right. So I mean, yeah. So Smokey, do you think that she's probably the best 2 star on the clan so far, or do you think that Melanie's probably better at the moment?
No, I would think that Melanie would probably be more solid. The only thing that might be her saving grace is that her poison might be so bad that your opponent might not remember that you got it in the first place.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good thing. As I actually found out in one of my vids that apparently I forgot that it was extra life that was being lost. I don't know. Well, anyway, yeah. So, what do you think though, Sniffy? Do you think that the she's the best 2 star at the moment, or
Oh no! I don't think she's the best 2 star. After 2 turns, she's as good as Melanie, victory wise, damage wise. But you know, that's 2 turns of waiting, and Melanie has more attack, and et cetera, et cetera. But I think she's okay, but I don't think she's the best 2 star in any regard.
okay then? I think we're gonna go straight to the rating now because I don't think there's any. I don't know. I don't think there's anything too much more to say really. So Smokey for the win. What are you gonna give this out of 10?
I'm going to give it 6.5 out of 10. I think that
Ooh.
the poison is pretty good, but I don't think that she is the best 2 star in the clan. And I think that maybe if she might have been a 7/2, that she might have been a little more useful. But I just think that the poison's too weak to rely on her. And you said that it was hard to get wins with her to even get the poison off.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true. What do you think about out of 10 really, Sliffy? What do you think you should probably give her?
I give her a 7 out of 10. I think she's a very basic card. I don't think she's a bad card. That's why I've been arguing for her before. I don't think she's a very good card, as I think I've stated before. Um, it's very hard to get her poison off, mainly because this clan has no attack manipulation, and she has no attack manipulation. I agree, but as I like to restate, she's a 2-star. Her poison, no one wants to get poisoned, so she can play some mind games. She won't win pill per pill all the time, obviously. I don't think you should pill her a lot. She's very limited use, but she's not bad in any sense, I feel.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I definitely kind of agree with both of you, really. I do actually like Esther, which is I think it's kind of embarrassing to say so, really, because I don't think she's a great card. But at the same time, I mean, the poison, whilst it may not be huge, I mean, even without it, I suppose it's still not bad at all, though. I mean, the 7-3, it really isn't that bad, like in terms of normal stats. Having said that, though, I mean, against SOB. Yeah, I suppose there's still the poison. I don't know, but the issue is, I mean, you're gonna have to play this card in the opening, and unfortunately, the 7 power, in my opinion, just isn't enough. I don't think to see it through in the opening, unfortunately, which is why I'm going to be giving it a 6.5 out of 10, unfortunately, which is probably one of the lower ratings I've ever given cards, I think. But to be fair, it's the first kind of batch that came out, really, and the first batch wasn't great, to be fair. Alright, so let's go into the second release of the Berserk card, and that was Beef. Beef at 4 stars for the Berserk is a 7/6 with the ability of Backlash, -2, -2. So firstly, Stiffy, just initial thoughts on Beef.
I like Backlash. I think it's a pretty cool digging but jig. Do you want to explain Backlash? Just for people who don't know.
To be fair, I think, the fact that it's been out for about 3 weeks, if they don't know what...
I was just curious, educating the people. It's just got to assume things. I guess that's okay too.
Oh, no, yeah. People,
I just wanted to be professional as possible, but hey, whatever.
You can explain it if you want.
I'm just going to continue my review, I think.
Oh,
you don't mind.
It's fine then.
Okay, so, 7 solid power, very nice, I feel. 6 damage, also pretty nice. I feel this card's a little weak. Let's be fair, it can do a huge life gap difference, especially for 4 stars, especially for, if you play Beef turn 1, people are, baffled. They're like, do I take the damage and hope, or do I think it's a bluff, or, you can really play some serious mind games on. That said, though, it's not really that overpowered due to the fact that it has no attack manipulation. Backlash hurts. I don't think Backlash was really needed because I don't think that card's that OP, but that's just my opinion.
Okay. I was thinking, actually, because, I hate people who say mind games. It's like...
What's wrong with mind games?
I don't know. It's like, do you imagine your opponent, shitting himself when he sees the beef?
No, I just make my opponent think. That's the purpose of a mind game.
They're like going, oh my god! What do I do?
Do you ever react that well to this game? Because, if you do in general, I'm very impressed, personally.
I'm just saying, mind games, I don't know.
I never said mind games as in, then your opponent will faint and you will win by timeout. I just said mind games.
I understand it if you're playing, a game where you can see your opponent,
Have you ever played any other game, out of curiosity?
Played any other game?
There's mind games in those games, too.
Okay, whatever, alright. I'm just saying.
Do you know the definition of mind games?
Well, it's not actually a word. It's a 2-part word.
Well, it's slang on the street, good sir, and thus it becomes a word that is used.
Oh, okay. That's good. Good story.
So I guess you don't know, out of curiosity?
No, I don't know. I don't know then.
Oh, okay, well, I guess I don't have to educate you then, so,
Instead of educating me, though, I think we should go straight to Smokey for the win. Kind of initial thoughts of Beef. Do you think it's a good card or a bad card?
I think he's okay. I mean, he is a 7/8, and he does play very good mind games, like Sliffy said, because you have to think, okay, is he gonna, does he want to pill out and take the 2 damage, or does he just want to, is he gonna play no pills and just let me win? But at 4 stars, he is kind of shaky. The attack manipulation does hurt him quite a bit, but I think that it was a good, he was a pretty good first release to kind of give you a taste of what this clan's probably going to become.
Okay. I don't know really, because I think the issue with Beef is, I mean, if you lead it off in the opening, I kind of feel you're kind of opening up weaknesses for yourself. I mean, maybe not so much in Elo, because I suppose you have the kind of the more life, I suppose. But I mean, in kind of normal game modes, I mean, if you like kind of give yourself a 2 damage deficit at the beginning, if your opponent has like an 8 damage card, then you're kind of stuffed, really. You're kind of falling into your own trap or something. I mean, that's just me. Do you think that the backlash is too big, Sliffy, or is it kind
I
of?
didn't hear a word you said there, like sense wise, but what was your question again? I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm just saying. Do you think the backlash is just too big, or
Too big?
yeah?
Like define big.
I don't know, like for it to actually able to kill you, sort of thing. Like the kind of the I know, like the kind of sort of thing against yourself.
Well, when we're talking about like Berserk in a whole, I feel like the main thing is it's hard for the cards to win. This is kind of like back when Jungle was released. They had a lot of good solid cards that could do a lot of great things in theory, but it wasn't practical for them to win. And they got some boosts,
Yeah.
later on that changed this. And maybe Berserk will get the same thing. But right now they don't really have a lot of boosts that make their cards practical.
To be fair though, I mean, with the first Jungle releases, I mean, I think Urban Rivals thought that stop would be like a huge game changing thing, and it completely failed, really. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, what do you think about this though? Smoking for the Win. Do you think that the backlash is too big, or do you think it's actually not that bad, really?
I mean, I think that depending on when you play them is really how big it is. I mean, if you can budget them in, you have 12 health, you still have 10 health after you win with them. And he also does put the 8 damage if you win. And I think that it's not too big. I think that maybe they could have done maybe -1 life, minimum 1, so it might hurt you a little bit more with the lower minimum. But I don't think that it's going to hurt you too much if you get that 8 damage off anyways.
Yeah, I definitely think, to be fair, actually, I mean, I kind of feel it's more of a kind of a late game card, really, because I don't know about you guys. I mean, do you agree with me, Sliffy, where the fact that the backlash, it's kind of meant to kind of be able to be played later on in the game, where actually the backlash doesn't do that much kind of effect on you, or do you think it's kind of a more, I don't know, kind of mind gamey sort of ability?
I think you can do both ways. If you win with Beef,
Like
you're
a bicep.
score tad still. That's still very like a huge advantage for you. If you win with Beef, then it doesn't matter what your life is. I think we can all agree about that. So I think it can be played both ways.
Okay. I mean, the other thing I was going to talk about actually was SOA. Big question. Do you think, I mean, Smoky for the Win, do you think that SOA is actually going to die down because of backlash?
Did it die down because of stop?
Yeah, okay, yeah, good point.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to really die down. I mean, what is it? 2 cards in the game have it out of the 714. I don't think that anybody that's using SOA is going to worry about running into Berserk with Beef.
Okay, let me just rephrase the question. Do you think in the future backlash is going to cause a problem? Or are we just...
I guess it depends on how big a backlash is. I mean, once they get their so-called leader, what's his name, supposed to be like Cortez or something? Yeah. Depending if he has a big backlash or something, then yeah, it might die down if everybody can afford him. I mean, he's going to be really expensive when he comes out. I think that if a lot of these cards get backlash, yeah, it will change SOA if they get popular in ELO.
Okay. I definitely think an 8/8 with like -3 like damage, whatever, would be pretty good, actually, I have to say. That'd be interesting to see how that comes out. Anyway, right, so we're kind of running out of time in this part, so let's go straight to the ratings out of 10. So, Slippy, out of 10, what would you give the Beef?
Beef? I kind of mixed. I think 7.5 out of 10. I think he can do a lot of damage. His power is pretty solid. His backlash I don't think is that big of a deal, and he can play a lot of, quote, mind games, unquote.
And out of 10, Smoky for the Win, what would you give Beef?
I give him an 8. I think that the 8 damage really does help for a 4-star. And he's okay. I mean, he can win some fights for you, but the 7 power does kind of hinder him a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you guys. I mean, it's an okay-ish card, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't like the fact that you take the 2 damage, really, and it can actually you can actually set yourself up for like 2-hit KOs, in the sense if your opponent has like an 8 damage card, which can be can be quite troublesome. But at the same time, I think it's an okay-ish card. Can do a huge amount of gap, which is pretty good. I'll probably give it a 7 out of 10. So I'll see you guys in the next part because we're only got 2 seconds left. So I'll see you guys.